What's up, guys? If you've been following me on social media, you know that I got sick after Nationals, and actually found out that I was sick well before Nationals, and I just kind of thought I was feeling shitty because I was in prep, where that really wasn't the case. I was sick, and I just kind of pushed through when I probably shouldn't. And right after Nationals, I guess because you get all depleted and everything, it killed my immune system a bit. And once I kind of got home and relaxed, it accelerated, and I had to go to the hospital and get treated for pneumonia, which almost killed me. I was in the hospital for about a week, and then I had to, I'm actually still on antibiotics. I had to get IV antibiotics for a whole nother week after I got home from the hospital. Now I'm on oral antibiotics. Still dealing with this. I actually lost 22 pounds while I was in the hospital, even though I was eating everything in sight, and hadn't moved for a good 2.5 weeks at all. I still lost all that weight, and on my way back up. I'm actually up 9 pounds already. And the only variable that I changed was that I trained last week. So I'm coming back quickly, still really weak, still taking it easy, still not, doing anything dumb by trying to push it too hard. Keeping the volume pretty low, and just trying to get back into it.
Where would you say your mind's at now after the show?
Well, it was a really weird couple months, man. Going into that show, especially a couple weeks out, it was significantly better than I ever looked. So I was very confident going into the show, and then I didn't do well at the show, and that kind of messed me up a little bit. And then once I got home, I got really sick, and I've never been sick before, ever, to be honest. I mean, I got feeling kind of bad, and I was like, well, it can't be worse than this, so I'll be better tomorrow. And then the next day it was worse, and then it's like, well, it can't be worse than this, I'll be better tomorrow. And then it got to the point where the day before I was in the hospital, I didn't sleep because if I even sat down, I couldn't breathe. So I actually had to walk around my house all night just so I could breathe. And when my wife came home from work, she brought me to her clinic. So fortunately, my wife's a physician, and she works at a multi-group. So she had somebody that looked at me right away, did a bunch of tests on me, got me on oxygen because my oxygen was at 83, and my resting heart rate was 125, 130, just trying to make my lungs work because they weren't working. And then they actually were able to call the hospital ahead of time. So when I got to the hospital, they had a room for me right away. I got right up there, got put on oxygen, and they started treating me. And that's really when I started to turn anyway. So that was very fortunate. I didn't have to deal with the ER and several hours waiting there, because at that point I had, stuff coming out of my eyes, out of my ears. I couldn't breathe on my own. So, that was very lucky that I was able to, very lucky to have my wife to help me, and that she switched jobs and pretty recently. So that was very fortunate. And, spent New Year's in the hospital. That wasn't really that cool. But I feel good now. I don't feel sick anymore. I just kind of feel out of shape because my lungs, they're pretty damaged because of how long I was sick for. When I went initially to the hospital, like, oh, how long have you been feeling bad for? And I said, probably about a week or so. And they said, well, that's not true, because the CAT scans and the x-rays say you've been sick for much longer than that, just because of how scarred up my lungs were. And so that's really what the problem is. I just feel like I'm out of shape, which is a weird feeling. So, just have to have my lungs recover. Everything else is good. I don't have any injuries. I don't have anything wrong internally other than my lungs at the moment. So, just trying to ease into the gym, and, even though it's kind of weird that I'm not using the weights that I'm in, I'm actually connecting really well with everything, and mentally it's helping me a lot get through it. And like where my head's at, man, I need to understand that I can't push it as hard as I push it. I'm that kind of person that just, when they have a task at hand, they put their head down, and obviously I am capable of working harder than my body is capable of recovering, so I can't do that anymore. I need to take a step back, find a little bit more balance, and enjoy things a little bit more, especially because I have 2 kids and I can't run myself into the ground like this again. Also, I wonder how much better I would have looked if a month out I took some extra couple days off and let myself heal, or never got sick, and how I actually would have looked on stage, because I was looking the best I ever did. So, training session today. Today is the 2nd week back in the gym. We're gonna hit chest and arms today, mostly chest and biceps. This is the first day of the training cycle. I'm training with Michael, my training partner, who is gonna usually benches about 100 pounds more than me. Today, probably about 250, 300 pounds more than me today, right? Because I'm weak. But so, like I said, I got a really awesome pump last week, and I'm really sore. I felt like I got hit by, got in a car accident after the training week, after that week of training, So I've decided, obviously, like when my strength comes back, but I want to do a powerlifting meet this winter. Well, probably gonna end up being the spring or the summer, right? But because I know I can pull 800, and I know I can squat probably around 800. My bench sucks, but if I can get that up to almost 5, I think that'd be a pretty good meet. So gonna try it out. Having Tyler help me out with programming a little bit, so that's why the way that we're benching today, we're pausing, but we're pausing on the way up, and I noticed it helps triceps a little bit better, which is definitely my weaker point. So it's a little bit different. Also, it makes more sense for bodybuilding. I'm not just like repping it out, or it's a lot more difficult, a lot more time under tension. So it kind of works both ways. So everyone's scared of flat bench, but if you really focus more time and attention, do stuff like this, then it's not necessarily dangerous,
I got it. Nope.
come on. All right. Off to some cable shit. When you were particular about what handles you like. Always happens to be this way. I always got carabiners, handles. So much easier. Definitely a focus this year, 2 years, however long it is till I compete again, is arms. So I hit them twice a week. One day full blown, the other day is just like an exercise or two. So today's mostly chest and biceps, but I want to hit at least a thing I feel, tricep exercise. And everything else is taken and not much, can't really beat single arm extensions. It's pretty awesome exercise. Pump though, Jesus Christ. Done. That's all she wrote. That's all I can do. Pretty blown up. Good workout today. Got a really awesome pump. Like I said before, it feels like I never stopped coming to the gym as long as I ignore the weights I was using. So, feel really good. You know, definitely out of breath a little bit more than normal, but feeling good. Everything's contracting awesome. Pumps are awesome. Really happy to be back. Just my mental health and everything. So, very cool. John came out and filmed today. Got to talk a little bit what happened the last couple months. And, you know, keep my promise of putting these videos out. So.